right answer for you depends on a number of variables. First, there's your training intensity. Second, what time of day are you training? And third, and maybe most importantly, your personal preferences. When you're deciding what to eat before a workout, the problem comes in when your food choice doesn't match your workout. That mismatch of your food choice with your workout is what can cause a sluggish start or a late fade during your training session. When your fuel doesn't match the training session or intensity, your performance tends to drop. For example, the weights feel heavier than they should, or maybe your cardio or conditioning feels harder than it should. More often than not, people don't equate this problem to a fueling strategy. They think they're tired, stressed, unmotivated, or that there's something wrong with the workout or program itself. And the real cost of this isn't one bad workout. It's weeks of training where your output is lower than it should be. But when your fuel does match the session, everything feels different. Your strength holds across all the sets. Your energy levels stay more stable. Your training session goes smooth instead of having to white knuckle your way through it. In this video, we'll talk about how to match what you eat before a workout to the actual workout you're about to do, when fasted training could make sense for you, and how to keep your pre-workout fueling simple so it doesn't complicate your day. So here's a fuel analogy. Think about two different cars. One is a daily commuter. It gets you from point A to point B. Comfortable, it's efficient, it's reliable. The other is a performance car. It's built for speed and power on demand. And it's important to note that one car isn't better than the other. They're simply built for different jobs. And because of that, you wouldn't fuel them the same way. And it's not because one of them is right and one of them is wrong. It's because the energy demands on each are completely different. Some sessions are lower in demand. Some sessions require a higher output. The biggest mistake isn't fasting or eating before the session. It's using the wrong fuel for the job. So how do we match the fuel to the training session? Every workout places a different demand on your body. Some sessions are light. You've got movement, blood flow, and it helps you shake off the stiffness. Other sessions require repeated high effort, heavy sets, hard intervals, output that actually taxes your system. And that harder output relies heavily on one thing, the glycogen in your muscles. So glycogen is stored carbohydrates inside your muscles, and it's one of the primary fuels your body uses when the intensity levels get high. When glycogen runs low and intensity stays high, you get tired faster. And that's where that early fade shows up. And this is why simple, fast digesting carbs work so well before high intensity sessions. To be clear, we are not talking about a full meal. We're talking about small inputs that give your muscles quick glucose without sitting heavy in your stomach, like a banana or a granola bar, toast with honey, maybe a few dates. That quick carbohydrate availability lets you lift heavier, push harder, and keep your strength from dropping off halfway through the workout. Same program, same sleep, same stress level, but a different fuel gives you a completely different output. Another point I'd like to make is protein's helpful, but it's not the star here. Carbs do most of the heavy lifting when it comes to performance, but protein still plays a small role here. Having a small amount of protein before the session can help reduce muscle breakdown during the session, and it sets you up for a better recovery afterwards. The key word here is small. We're not talking about a full protein shake, a heavy meal, or trying to cram in half your daily protein before you lift. Protein requires a lot more energy for digestion, and you don't want the protein that you just ate competing with your energy for your workout. So think support here, not fullness. So if you're eating right before your training, carbs lead the way, protein's just along for the ride. Think just enough to do the job, not enough to weigh you down. And that's why something simple works so well. Carbs first, a little protein if it fits, and then let the session do what it's supposed to do. Fasted training. It's a tool, not the rule. Now, a lot of people, especially early morning gym rat, train fasted simply because it's convenient. You wake up, grab some coffee, put your shoes on, and you're out the door. And for some sessions, that's fine. Training fasted tends to feel lighter. Your digestion isn't competing with your workout. And for lower demand workouts, that actually feels pretty good. And what's happening under the hood, pretty simple. There's lower glycogen available, so your body uses stored body fat for fuel. And that's not good or bad. It's just a shift. Whether you consistently train fasted or fed, your long-term fat oxidation evens out over time. Where fasted training tends to fall apart is when the session asks for frequent high output. You can maintain performance levels and you don't feel that drop off halfway through the workout. This is where simple carbs earn their place in your pre-workout meal. Now, high intensity interval training, that's sneaky. Each interval is short, but the demand is high and it accumulates fast. Muscle glycogen is what helps you maintain a high level of performance and repeat the intensity in multiple rounds. If you ever felt like your conditioning's fine, but find that your legs stop responding halfway through a workout, it's probably a fueling strategy problem. Endurance or longer cardio sessions have a higher energy demand. Higher demand sessions need more available fuel. Lower demand sessions don't. So this isn't a right or wrong, it's simply matching the fueling with the intensity of the workout. The next point is that timing matters, but not in the way that most people think. You don't need a perfect schedule or a rigid pre-workout meal. You just need to respect digestion and demand. So here's 2 practical windows that covers just about everything. If you're eating 2 to 4 hours before training, this is where a normal balanced meal fits nicely. Complex carbs, lean protein, nothing fancy. By the time you train, digestion's done its job and your glycogen stores are topped off. Your meals could include oats, fruit, of course lean protein, and possibly even rice. If you're eating 30 to 60 minutes before training, this is where simple carbs shine. Here you'll want foods that digest quickly, raise your blood glucose, and don't weigh on your stomach mid-workout. Again, you can add a little bit of protein, just don't overdo it. The big thing you're gonna wanna avoid here is heavy fat and heavy fiber. These slow digestion and increase the chances of bloating, cramping, or nausea once the workout gets underway. The bottom line is the closer you are to training, the simpler your meal should be. That one rule solves most of your timing issues. So how can you make this work for you? So this is where most people get tripped up. They look for like the perfect pre-workout meal as opposed to one that matches the intensity of the session they're about to do. If performance and strength are your priority, simple carbs fit the bill. That's an easy call. But if you're looking for low stress due to tight schedules and early workouts, training fasted can still work, so long as it matches the intensity of your workout. You want to view this as like a science experiment. How's your energy in the first half of your workout? Do you have the same strength and performance in your last sets as you do in your first? Are you starting out sluggish? Are you fading late? The answers to those questions are going to tell you more than any one-size-fits-all fueling strategy. This is where your personal preferences come into play. So experiment a little. Adjust your portion sizes. Adjust the timing. Are you eating 30 minutes before a workout? 60 minutes before a workout? Keep the food simple and notice how your body responds. Because the best pre-workout meal for you isn't the one that's written on paper. It depends on how you individually respond. You want the strategy that lets you train hard, recover well, and it doesn't impact the rest of your day. Now, if you want to take this one step further, you'll start looking into what you should eat directly after the workout. A lot of people train really hard and then quietly undo a good chunk of that work with what they eat next. I'll break that down in the next video, what to eat after a workout and how to stop sabotaging your results without overthinking it.